Blain, Brad, bit of good news, mate. We've got a fight. Well,
Finally, a bit of good news.
We hope we've got a fight, but you two are travelling down to the Matchroom bubble on Wednesday, is it?
Wednesday morning, go down, yeah.
And it looks like your coach made the fight.
I didn't make the fight, but
yeah. But you gave Steve a few names.
Yeah,
and,
giving names of who we wanted to fight when Brad was ready for a step up, you know, and he's been asking for a step up. We have wanted one, and then I put a few names forward. So I think, you know, it was just in people's heads.
And he's been shouting out. He's been tagging Matchroom and Eddie Hearns, you know, because the opponent, if it happens, is Lee Cutler, and Lee's a little bit older. I think he's 25. He's unbeaten, 7-0, 4 KOs. So
good kid, mate. Good kid. It's a tough fight. It's a real 50-50 fight, which, you know, like Blaine said, we've been wanting to step up for a while now, and obviously with COVID, people are kind of being forced into it to do it. We were kind of in a position anyway where we were looking to do that anyway. So the fight got put to us.
Well, I
happy
mean,
to take it, and yeah.
Well, you fortunate you got out on arguably one of the last shows of the season, certainly one of the last big shows, because you was at the Emmy Arena on March the 7th, weren't you? Was that John O'Carroll?
Quigg, yeah.
Yeah, Quigg, wasn't it? And how have you managed to keep yourself focused? Because there's not really been anything on the horizon, and yet you've still been in the gym, still making sure for when we got to this point, you were ready. And
it's been hard because at any other point in my career so far, if we would have got offered a fight on a week's notice, I wouldn't have been ready, you know what I mean? But I knew that with everything going on at the moment, if somebody did come up last minute and I wasn't in a position to take it, I'd kick myself, because I knew that nothing else would probably come up for a while. So in the head, I just had, I need to be ready if something comes up here. And I was before Christmas, with a few little whispers of things before Christmas that never come off. I had a week or two off Christmas, and then going back in January and was just cracking on then, ready for whatever come up.
But you know your opponent, I wouldn't say fairly well, but you do know him because he's been up here sparring previously, hasn't he?
Yeah, I had a move about with him. Again, good spar, good kid, mate. It's a real good fight. It's not a walk in the park, so looking forward to it, mate, finally getting in a good 50-50 fight with someone. And
your old teammate is one of his teammates now, isn't he? Because you had Joe Pigford, who trained up here for, what, about 2 years, wasn't it? He's back down in Southampton, and he's one of his training partners. Give you any info?
He's not give us any info, might give him some. Listen, the way I see it is the styles mate fights, so it's a case of what if Joe could give him anything. Do you know what I mean? He's not.
Well, what's his style like? Do you know? Because I tried go looking on the internet, and there's not really too much over there. I found one Lee Cutler, but I don't think it's him. It's a white collar fight, and he was quite a good amateur, I believe, wasn't he? As you were, Brad.
Yeah. I think he won a national title as an amateur and stuff. Short, stocky, strong lad. He can box, he can fight, so he brings a bit of everything to the table, which is interesting. Which obviously I like to believe I can box if you have to, believe I can fight if you have to, but so it's interesting, mate, you know, if what he's going to come with, but I feel whatever he comes with, you know what I mean, I'll be able to one up.
You have an answer for. Well, I've been watching you just putting the final touches, and obviously I've not been down here too much over the lockdown, and I know you've been working hard and you've been adding to your game, and I remember as an amateur I filmed you numerous occasions, and you were never a switch hitter, but something over the last 2 years you've been adding to your game, and it seems to be a really good addition now.
Something nice to have in the arsenal, isn't it, mate, if you need it. Something Rea Coach Blain, feel quite comfortable there now. It's not something I do all the time, you know what I mean, but if I need to bring it out, I'm confident to do that.
We were just saying before, do you think this has been beneficial to you? I know almost 12 months out of the ring is not really beneficial to any fighter, but a young fighter like yourself, it's not too bad on you because you have got youth on your side. But it seems like all the things, because you've had 9 pro fights and you've brought something new each time to each fight. Do you think this has been great to put them all together?
I think perhaps it could be a bit of a blessing in disguise, mate, because it's given me bit of time to grow into the weight, bit of time to mature, bit of time to, you know, we've been doing like heavier strength stuff, so I'm feeling a lot stronger, feel like I'm hitting harder. We've been not having to worry about making weight or who we're fighting. We've been able to work technically on a few things, which we've added to my game, like you said. So yeah, I think it could be a bit of a blessing in disguise, mate, and hopefully on Saturday I'll get to show
with this, you know, when Eddie's been saying, because Eddie spoke about this fight a few weeks ago, and you put a little clip on him talking about it and actually mentioning your fight and saying how excited he was, and because at present you're a replacement in case someone doesn't make the fight, COVID or whatever it is, you're going to step in. But he's saying that it's such a good fight that he's going to put it on anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I'm hoping he does, mate.
Like Brad was saying there, there was both good amateurs, both won national titles. In the pros, you know, they're both unbeaten. They both stopped a few kids that can punch a bit. But as well, they both like to box, they both like to fight, and they can both do both.
So
do you know what I mean? So it's one of them where
fireworks.
you look at it and you kind of like, it could be, anything could happen. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it just makes for an exciting fight.
Well, on paper, even though he's only 7-0, he's probably got that slight advantage because the one opponent you've got in common is that Geraint Goodrich, who's a really good kid. And I remember watching that, I think, was that the warehouse when you fought him?
That was my third fight, yeah.
Yeah, it was your third
I was
fight.
on the Jolly Boys, it don't count.
It was one, yeah. But you were saying, I agreed with you, I think if you would have had one more round, you would have got that stoppage then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
After that fight as well though, that was like...
Yeah, for us, we spoke, that was kind of the turning point where I started getting a bit of that mean streak.
Yeah, after that fight we got in the gym and I was like, listen, you should have stopped him. Like, you need to start putting some spite into your work. You can't just be, you know, cruising through fights. And it was that fight where I was unhappy that he didn't stop him. Whereas normally I'm not fussed, you know, they win on points, they stop them, you know, you just win. And that's the main thing. But with that one, I was like, no, you need to start putting spite in your work now. You should have put him away. And then Cutler did that. So he's putting that spite in his work. But then since then, he went on, started blasting people out in round 1 and 2.
On the bounce,
after that fight, 3 on the bounce, stopped them. And it was like, there we
go. Good opponent, and actually for me, looking at your resume of fighters, I think you've fought the better fighters. You know, the Alistair Warrens, you know, he's not really fought anyone. I think the kid who fought Chris Blaney, what's his name? I think it was his last opponent, Owen Joe Byrne. Yeah.
But again, Joe Byrne's one, he's not a full-on journeyman yet, so he's not going to come and just survive. He comes for a goal. 100% he would stop him. Don't know, Cutler stopped him, but that don't matter. He would stop him 100%. But yeah, they've both had similar opponents, decent opponents. But the way I see it is with records and stuff. He's 7-0, he's 9-0, he's 7-0. But I always think boxers should have kind of 2 records: one against your journeyman, one in fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me for me
they're both 0.
This is 1-0 now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they're both 0.
When I win next, this is my first win.
Yeah.
My first big win where, you know what I mean, there was a chance where...
Well then, if this all goes perfectly and you get the win, at 22, well, you'll be 23 tomorrow, aren't you? Yeah, at 23, you're still young, but, you know, do you feel like you could be pushing him too soon? Because suddenly, he could be throwing him at the deep end and you're going to be, you know, maybe 1 or 2 fights away from being in that top 10.
Yeah, but that's where, then, obviously I'll speak to Steve and it's where we need to manage him. Do you know what I mean? And manage him well. I don't think this win then will, in our eyes, I'm not then going to be like, right, yeah, we want this, we want that, we want an English title fight or whatever. For me, it's just, he's took that step out of the journeyman in a 50-50 fight against somebody we really believe he can beat.
And I presume you've got to reassess anyway, because if you do, and it's how well you win, you know, and if you win really well, then suddenly you might then change your opinion again and go, well, we could do.
We've just got to look at, you know, who's in front of us, who's behind us, who's around us, and what's the best thing to do. And that's one thing. Obviously, he'll beat him after the fight. I know what he's like. He'll have an interview after the fight. He'll be saying he won't smash everyone up.
Well, you'll have a good, obviously, audience there, because if IFL is going to be down there, then a few more people will find out about you.
Yeah. That's mine and Steve's job then, though, to sort of go, right, listen, good win, but you know, we're not jumping into something we're not ready for. We'll just carry on that path. But that's where me and Steve need to make sure we keep him on
because
the
I presume, as he's been saying, winner stays on in these shows. You know, I think you've got who's the kid who's fighting Ryan Charlton. Ryland Charlton, he's fighting Florian Marker, you know, after his good win over Joe Law. So it looks like he's, you know, if you do a number, he's bringing you back. So it's good, hopefully this could be the start.
It could just open loads of doors for us. You know what I mean? It could be that fight that I need now. You know
that breakout fight.
Pick someone's ears up and get someone's attention. Where, you know what I mean? I show what I can do.
The thing is, if
Ginger Power, mate.
If he doesn't win, there's a chance he don't box again for another 12 months. In this climate, but if he beats him, there's a chance we get another shot.
In 3 months' time, looks like he could be out again.
And although, like you said, the time out has helped. You know, we've worked on a lot of things. Like you said, inactivity is not good for any fighter. But what we did was turn a negative into a positive, and that's the best.
I noticed that. I really have. I've seen differences, so I'm excited.
We're both in the same boat. Anyway, we've both been inactive. Both been out of the gym for a little bit at the start, and. It's one of them, you know what I mean. It's a real 50-50 fight. Both undefeated, like I said, both coming off a bit of inactivity, but we both know what this could lead to. I know what it could lead to.
Big carrot on the end of the stick for both of you, isn't it?
100% he knows, and that's why it's going to make such a good fight, because we're probably willing to take that risk, willing to take them little bit more risks to show what we can do. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to make it for a good fight.
He's rubbing his hands, isn't he? He's got some cracking fights on this show.
Fair play to both of the lads, Lee and Brad, for taking it. You know, there's a lot of people there that they won't fight in this COVID, but they also wouldn't take this chance. Do you know what I mean? They'd be a bit windy about it. Whereas Lee's been posting on Instagram calling out for Matchroom to give him a chance. We did get a chance on the Quigg v Carroll undercard. He boxed well. We got told then that off that we'd probably get a shot on the Dylan White undercard. That got cancelled because of COVID. So then the chance we was getting was just took away from us. Luckily, we've been offered it again, and he's going to take it.
We'll leave it on that note. Lads, enjoy your trip down there. When you set off? Wednesday, did you say?
Wednesday morning, yeah.
Yeah? Right, well listen, good luck. What's it, London? Wembley, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
Wembley, mate.
Woo!
Stingray in Wembley.
Hey, like I say, maybe this might be the last chance for you to get a feeling behind closed doors fights. You know what I mean? This is something that, you know, not many fighters have had an opportunity to do, and a little tick in the box for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
No pressure. Don't have to sell tickets, mate.
I know, yeah. It's been nice this week, mate.
It's good obviously I've been in that bubble with Ibby as well.
Great performance by him last week.
Yeah, he boxed really well, class. And then Brett's debut was a behind closed doors fight as well. So I've been in this bubble twice.
So you're experienced now, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. And to be fair, I think for a fighter, it's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Like,
no distractions.
You're away from everything. You're away from everyone. You know, you're surrounded by everyone else on the show. So you're surrounded by boxers, but as well as that, you're surrounded by top fighters that are fighting at top levels. Do you know,
well, the top of the bill is a cracking fight, isn't it? The European title fight with Avanesyan and Kelly. Yeah. I mean, that's... Who do you reckon?
Don't know, you know. I think Avanesyan could do it. I like him.
I think it'll go either one or two ways. I think either Kelly will score him for 12 rounds, or Avanesyan will walk through him.
You're seeing your opponent like every day in that bubble as well, and I like that. Like, I think
I was asking you before, because you're always very cool before a fight. Have you got that little bit of a fear factor though?
Yeah, I do, mate. I do, yeah. But I don't really get nervous, but I have been a bit nervous this week.
Because as you said,
you know what, mate? I think it'll be a good thing. I think it'll keep me sharp.
Bring out something.
But it's nice, and like I said, it's because I know how big this could be, mate, and what it could lead to, and you know what I mean. There is a chance. You know what I mean. I'm not going to say, I'm going to walk this. There is a chance that I could get beat because he's a good kid. But you know, we've been working in the gym really hard. You know what I mean. And confident, mate, that's not going to happen.
Well, like you say, what I've been watching, I'm really impressed with, mate. Everything that you've been working on, it seems to be working well, and I'm excited to see what you deliver on Saturday night, mate.
Totally, mate.
Good luck, chaps.
Cheers, Lee.
See you then, mate.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click on and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.